Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the English to Take Away podcast. Myself, I am Jordan, and you may know me from English Lingo. I'm an English teacher and content creator online. And as always, I am delighted to have my amazing co host, Richard, with me.
Oh, thanks, Jordan, for the introduction. I'm Richard. I'm also a content creator, an English language teacher, and you might know me on social media as the Grammar Goat.
Yes, indeed. So, for those who are maybe new, Richard, do you want to explain the premise of the podcast, what we're going to be going through?
Yeah, definitely. The premise is pretty simple. It's an English language podcast where we talk about things going on in our week. We talk about a news story that has caught our eye, that has interested us. We usually do a role play, which is kind of normally related to one of the news stories. And then, crucially, at the end of the podcast, we'll give you 10 new, we hope, English language expressions that have arisen that we've both spoken about during the episode. So great for your English language listening practice, great to expand your vocabulary, and we hope you'll have lots of fun listening as well.
And it's totally unscripted, so yeah, what you hear or what you see is what actually happens. We don't actually script anything or come up with any specific things that we need to hit. This is a completely natural conversation, which is always the best, isn't it? It's better to engage in the natural conversation rather than scripted ones, so that you can get to grips with the vocabulary, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other really cool thing about our podcast is I'm in the UK, I live in the
Yeah,
UK, and obviously, Jordan, you are from the UK, but you're living in the Philippines. So
that is
that
true.
always brings really interesting discussion points, doesn't it? And topics and things to talk about.
100%. Actually, do you remember a couple of podcasts ago we were talking about culture shock, right?
Yep.
And we were talking about like reverse culture shock, etc. Um, but the one thing that my dad and my stepmom kind of realized, and I hadn't mentioned this before to you, and maybe because I just got used to it quickly, I was familiar with it. But they had a bit of culture shock, and the fact that here in the Philippines, if you go to the toilet, even if you go to the toilet in a shopping mall, shopping center, there's no toilet paper.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, there's no toilet paper at all. they they don't provide toilet paper. So that is a huge culture shock for British people, who are very accustomed to going to the bathroom in shopping malls and having a big wheel of toilet paper available for them. Yeah, they were shocked, very shocked.
Okay, that we need to unpack this a bit more. So, like, do you bring your own toilet paper in the Philippines, or is there a water idea with a shower type idea, or how does
So
it work?
well done. Yeah, you are very well versed in Asian toilets, so that's a nice 10 points tick for you there. Yes, so some cases, yeah, there is um, the washer that they usually have, but in some cases they don't. Um, do you bring your own? Probably people do. However, they do have these like convenient little vending machines outside that you can put a couple of coins in to get your so desired tissues as well. So I think it's a money making idea. That's probably why they don't do it. but I really don't know. I'm not sure as to why they don't.
It's almost like a great prank, isn't it, for your mate? If your mate comes to visit you in the Philippines, it's such a good prank to, when your friend needs the toilet, to send him off to the public toilet and not mention that fact. And I did, yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me that. If I am ever lucky enough to visit the Philippines, which is definitely on my bucket list, I'll
absolutely.
definitely remember that, Jordan.
Well, I think I didn't warn them either. That was the problem because
Oh, what?
it
Yeah.
escaped my mind. I didn't think about it, and then they, my dad came back. I think it was my dad. There's no toilet paper. I went, oh no! I was like, I was shocked that I forgot. I was like, yes, there's no toilet paper. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, that just sprung to
Oh
mind. Like
man.
when when we were talking about you know, living in different countries, that just sprung to mind about the cultural difference. That's why I mentioned it. So apologies
Yeah.
to any listeners when talking about toilets to begin with.
No, I mean toilets are a good discussion because, of course, in Japan it's sort of the opposite,
Oh
isn't it? Because
yeah,
Japanese toilets with their heated toilet seats,
yeah,
you could spend hours in Japanese toilets, couldn't you? They're so clean and
yeah,
pristine, as we had last week,
absolutely.
and yeah, so quite a contrast, I think.
Yeah, one of my students, he just went back to Poland after staying, I think, about a month in Japan, and he said the first time he sat down on his toilet seat, he got a massive shock because it was so cold.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, Japan is very much the leader in that department. I think they've really made a very big difference in the experience of going to the bathroom in that sense.
They've really stepped up their toilet game, haven't they? The Japanese,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that. Indeed,
Oh,
cool.
cool.
So
All
yeah,
right.
as usual, how have you been, and what have you been up to this past week?
Yeah, not too much to shout about. It's been a pretty quiet week, obviously with Mika the puppy at
Yes.
home. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, she's relaxing and she's learning very very quickly. So at the moment, I'm just waking up once in the night, or well, not even really the night. It's early morning, so I've been waking up about 4:30.
Wow.
This morning 5 o'clock, just to take her outside to the toilet.
Yep.
So not too bad at all. So she's learning quickly and she's relaxing at home, which is really really nice.
Does she still get the zoomies in the morning?
She's still very very energetic in the morning and then calmer in the afternoon and the evening. But she's a little crocodile still. She ripped a hole in my best jeans yesterday.
No.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's kind of my fault because she clamped onto them with her teeth, and then I moved, and of course
Ah,
the movement caused like a ripping
yeah.
action, and she ripped a little hole in my jeans. But yeah,
Right.
she's like a crocodile. She really is.
I'll tell you what,
Um,
puppy teeth are so sharp, aren't they? Like
Razor.
I I would say that they're, as you said, razor. They're as sharp as razors. It's very yeah, very difficult not to feel pain from just playing with a puppy, or as you said, it's very difficult not to damage your jeans, your shoes, your slippers, because they're lethal. They really are lethal, actually.
Yeah, they are, and the other thing is like because we've got 5 people in our household, So it's being consistent as well with the things that she can do and things that she can't do. So,
Right,
for example, yesterday my middle son he let her fall asleep on the sofa in the living
right,
room, whereas
yeah.
I haven't been letting her on the sofa. So then for the rest of the day, she was constantly trying to get up, get back on the sofa, chew the cushions, and so that caused quite a lot of fun and games to get her off the sofa.
Yeah,
So yeah, lots of fun. I mean, my kids absolutely love her,
I bet.
and so she's a brilliant addition to our home. Yeah,
Nice.
amazing.
Do you do you divvy up the walking, um, you know, responsibilities? Do you do the whole of the walking, or do your children take responsibility and do some of the walking as well with Mika?
Yeah, my kids have been great actually with helping
Awesome.
with Mika, and they've been taking her for walks. And because she's so young still, she only needs about a 15-minute walk
Yeah.
once or maybe twice a day, not too much. And yeah, so my kids have been doing the walks, which has been really, really nice. So I do the night shift and look after her in the night, and my kids look after her a lot actually in the day when they can, when they're not at school. So it's all
Awesome.
good.
Cool.
How are your dogs, your puppy and your other new dog? How are they doing?
Yeah, really well. Although the smaller one, I think I sent the picture to you, the little tiny one that we have. She is so lovely, really, really sweet, but she's like a little live wire. She is so energetic, and the problem is she thinks everything's a toy. So similar to what Mika probably thinks as well. So anything that moves, she thinks, oh, playtime. Um, and she's killed a couple of the chicks that we have because they've escaped and they start running around, and she thinks, oh, let's have fun and games with these. And she doesn't do it maliciously. She does it because she's playing, and she kills them, and then that's it. Like they don't move. They don't move
Oh no.
anymore. They don't move anymore, so they're not fun. That's the thing.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So
yeah, it's tricky because we've also got a rabbit at home, but obviously the
yeah,
rabbit is in a hutch, and
yeah,
we're going to keep them separate for that very reason, I think. Yeah.
of course, of course. No, I think that the problem is that because we've got so many different animals around, it there's so much for them to take in, really. So it's difficult to focus on training them for one thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, so we're trying to basically keep them away from the small animals, because the bigger ones they don't seem to worry about too much. They don't really pay attention to the bigger ones. It's just the smaller ones because they look like a tennis ball, basically. Uh, tennis ball with legs.
Oh,
um,
amazing.
yeah, but otherwise, no, they're really fun. They're really they're just yeah. It's lovely to have dogs around, and
Mm.
I must admit I've grown up with cats. I'm a cat person, but having dogs, yeah, I really like the loyalty of dogs and the excitement in their faces when they see you. They
Yep,
get really
absolutely.
really excited, don't they? Actually,
Yeah, they're great companions, aren't they? I think they're amazing pets. They really are.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Jordan, this week? Sorry, you were going to say something. I
Yeah,
interrupted.
I was going to say one thing I have been doing as usual, because it's part and parcel of our job that we do. Scrolling through social media, and I came across a post by the Grammar Goat yourself, and it was a really interesting post because it was the one where you said, "I used to have hair," and I saw a picture of you with hair. I was shocked actually because for, I didn't recognize you, to be honest. I didn't recognize the picture, and then I looked close. I was like, "Oh wow, okay." Uh, yeah, I was stunned to see that picture. It was really good, really
Well,
interesting.
full transparency, that was an AI generated
I was
picture.
gonna
It wasn't
ask.
actually wasn't actually me.
I was
I
gonna
wish I
ask.
looked like that. I wish I looked that good when I had hair, because I did. I did obviously have hair at one point, many years ago. I wish I'd looked that good with hair. I wish my hair had been that beautiful, but
Yeah.
sadly not. Sadly not. No, that was. I did a video for, like, one of these photo AI photo generator
Yes.
apps. I did a video for an app a long time ago, and I had
Right.
some photos left over from that, and I just decided to post them. Yeah, so
Awesome. That's
quite
cool.
funny.
Talking about AI from last week, right? So it's
Yeah.
amazing. Like I was gonna ask whether it was AI or not. I didn't want to be cheeky, so I
No,
thought
sure.
I thought I would say it looked awesome. But yeah, I did wonder if it was AI. That it's really convincing though. I must admit, it's
Yeah.
really convincing picture. Fantastic. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, I urge you to go and have a look at Richard's Facebook page and check it out. It was really cool picture actually.
Oh, cheers, Jordan. I mean, the other amazing thing now with AI and photos is, have you seen how you can restore old photos using AI? So you can take a very old, like, black and white photo of your great
Yes.
grandparents, and then you can transform it, and it will colorize and enhance the image. It's amazing. It really is, isn't it? AI and photos.
Yeah, brings everything sort of back to life, doesn't it? Really, like something that
Yeah.
you kind of discarded and thought, we don't need that anymore. It actually brings it back to life and gives it gives it a new lease of life. Really, it gives it a second chance. And yeah, I think for grandchildren to, or great grandchildren to see their ancestors, pictures of them, I think it's wonderful. It's a really cool addition to technology for them to be able to see and like notice, oh, that was my great grandfather. Yeah, they're amazing, powerful tools that we have now, though. But yeah, I noticed that. I wanted to say that was really cool.
Yeah, cheers. I mean, I remember when I was a student, the days before digital cameras, where we took photos with our cameras, but then you couldn't see the
Yeah.
photo that you'd taken, could you? And then you had to take it to the shop, get the photos developed, and then
Yes.
you'd get a little wallet with all of your photos in, and many of them would be blurry or wouldn't be very good because you'd moved when you'd
Yeah.
taken it, and
Yeah.
I don't know, we forget that, but the
We do.
technology's moved on so much, hasn't it? Amazing.
It's night and day really, between the technology actually. But yeah, I agree with you. It's crazy how quickly everything changes and moves forward. But yeah, it's nice to see the actual changes to the technology, of course. So it's a nice tool for us to be able to use, indeed.
Yeah.
um, but
What
as
what
you
have
were
you been up to,
asking,
Jordan? Yeah.
yeah, nothing really, to be honest. It's been quite a mellow week after having a very heavy week, or 2 weeks of doing lots of things, going here, there, and everywhere. This week has been quite a mellow week. I would have, well, I have described it as being quite boring, actually. Uh, I After doing so many things, you kind of get in a lull and think, oh, there's nothing to do now, really. So no, I've not really done a great deal. We've been just been out to do things like food shopping, and we went out and watched a movie last night. We went to the cinema, and that's about it, really. Just doing a few bits and pieces here and there, but nothing of note. Unfortunately, it's been, yeah, as I said, quite a mellow week. Nothing to write home about.
Tell me about the cinema. What did you see at the cinema?
Oh, my daughter. I'm going to use it again, same as last week. My daughter had been badgering me for ages to go
Nice.
to Sonic 3. She loves Sonic, and she kept asking and asking, "Can we go and see it? Can we go and see it?" Even when my dad was here, she said, "Can we go and see it?" And my dad was like, "Nah, not really. I'm not really interested." So eventually, I gave in to her requests, and we went and saw it. I must admit, it's really good. I liked it. I thought it was cool because Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik is really, yeah, he's really funny. He's quite good in the sense that he offers a little bit for adults, not just for children. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie, actually.
The burning question that I've got is, what kind of popcorn man are you? Are you a salt popcorn? Are you a sweet popcorn? Are you a mix of both? Or do you
Oh
go totally sort of outside of that and go for a toffee type popcorn? What's
wow,
your popcorn
you're
of choice?
yeah, yeah, you're gonna lose your marbles here, I reckon, because we have a really interesting choice over here. We've got the choice of nacho cheese popcorn, cheddar
Nacho cheese popcorn.
cheddar cheese popcorn, Texan barbecue popcorn, so
Really?
and and sour cream popcorn.
So is this popcorn with actual melted cheese on, or is this flavored
I think it.
popcorn?
I think it's flavored. Yeah, not. It's not.
Okay,
Not. Yeah, that would be a little bit too.
messy.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't imagine that, just wiping it into the seats at the end of it,
Yeah,
right?
you'd need some kind of bib, wouldn't you, on like
Big-
a
a
bin
big
a bin bag?
a big man bib. Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
those are the flavors that we usually have.
That's different, isn't it? That's amazing. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't have expected that at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my daughter seems to like the cheddar cheese flavor popcorn.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the ones. And I must admit, it's not bad. It's pretty good. But if I if I were to go to the cinema in England, I would have to be sweet. Yes, I like I like the sweet flavor of popcorn. Um, I I do I do like the salted caramel ones if they do one of those.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would go for the sweet ones myself. How about you?
I'm I I'm more of a like a mix. I like a mix of
Ah,
salt and sweet. But I guess the other question I've got is, when the lights come up at the end of the film in the Philippines at the cinema, is the cinema very tidy and clean, or is there, because you'll get, this is me moaning again now, but in the UK, the mess that people leave in the cinema is insane, like ridiculous. Like, it looks like it's been feeding time at a zoo sometimes, with a carpet of popcorn.
everywhere.
They leave everything. It's horrible. It's really horrible. What about in the Philippines? Are people quite clean and tidy? Do they clean up after
Um,
themselves, or?
I think, yeah, like I've never noticed like it being bad at all. Like we've been
Okay.
a few times. It's been, yeah, relatively good actually, not too bad. The Yeah, the mess that you're describing, I think there's a little bit here and there, but not crazy amounts. No.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think so. But the interesting part at the beginning of every movie here, they play the Filipino national anthem.
Nice. No,
Yeah.
that's cool. Do you have to
So,
stand up?
uh well, we didn't know because
No.
there wasn't anyone else in the cinema, to be honest. So
Oh, really? It
we
was.
could get away with it. If it was a full cinema, yeah, maybe I would, join in and actually do it. Yeah.
Wow,
um,
amazing.
could you imagine that in England though, like playing the the English national anthem before every movie? I don't think it would work.
No, no, no. Do they have a lot of outdoor cinemas in the Philippines because of the climate being so temperate and so nice?
Not that I know of. No, I've not seen any outdoor cinemas actually. I know that some of the resorts they have like big projector screens, and some of them have like movie nights
Yeah.
outside, so you can sit around on like the comfortable kind of like garden furniture, so to speak, and you can watch a movie on their big projector screens. But as for like official cinemas, no, not at all.
I just had a funny image in my head then of you guys like, war paint on sort of commando style through the bushes to get into the
Yeah,
outdoor movie, and sneak in and sit at the back in the deck chair to watch. Can you do that? Can you go in and watch the movies or
yeah, you're allowed to like. I think you have to pay some kind of fee to use their facilities.
sure.
But every every resort, I believe, allows people to do that. So you can pay to go and use their pool and use their games rooms, things like that, whatever they have. So yeah, it's possible to do that, of course, no problem at all.
Oh, nice. That's
So
very cool. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
great.
And how much is it to go to the cinema in England now?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it's around £8 per
Hmm.
person, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Right.
yeah.
We've
What about with you?
we've got it at about £4.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, cheaper.
yeah, much cheaper. I think. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not yeah not as expensive as the UK. So, but it was cheaper than that a few years ago. Actually, it was probably about £3. So it's
Right.
yeah, it's going up
Yeah, yeah. All
as
right,
every
cool. Well, we've
autumn.
we've 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 already had a whirlwind of topics, haven't we, today on the pod? It's been brilliant. Should we
Indeed.
move into the news story section?
Yes.
What's your news story?
So my news story is about a Japanese government worker who got fired from his job because he went to the gym during work hours. Um, and they went back and reviewed his attendance and realized that he had been to the gym over 600 times during work hours. And ultimately, they have said to him that he's lost his job and he needs to pay back the money, the salary that he was paid for those hours.
Wow, so this wasn't in his lunch break then or anything like that. It was during.
Yeah, presumably he just vanished during work hours and nobody noticed for 599 times. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's a bizarre story. It really is. How no one flagged this before, I don't know.
Hmm.
You you would have thought that someone would have noticed, you know, really, really early on that somebody's gone missing for maybe an hour and a half or something. And does he come back sweaty or does he come back smelling like he's just had a shower? Uh, Both would raise concerns, I think. So,
Protein shake in his hand.
yeah, yeah, protein shake or a protein bar, something like that. Um, yeah, that's a little bit of a crazy story that I read.
That's a great story. I guess he needs to get a job in a gym, doesn't he, so that he can
Yeah,
combine the two. Um,
absolutely. Yeah, it's
has,
mind-boggling, and the funny. Well, I say the funny thing. It's not for not funny for taxpayers, but he's a government worker. He's a local government
all right.
worker. Uh,
Wow.
so the local taxpayers pay for his salary, right? So yeah, that was the strangest part of it, is that nobody in the local government office actually noticed until they were tipped off, apparently. So yeah, very strange, very very strange indeed.
Yeah. Well, my story this week is also on a like a sporting theme, so it's quite cool actually how we've no sort of prearranged news stories here, but it's
No,
cool how our topic is sort of matching up. So mine is
yes,
about a tennis match.
mm,
This week it was a Davis Cup tennis match,
okay,
and there's a bizarre incident where one of the players in the match had won the game
yep,
and was really really excited and kind of sprinted back to sit down at his chair, and the other player was walking back to his chair, and inevitably like they kind of crossed paths.
you're like, okay, yeah,
But yeah, but the one who was sprinting collided, bumped into the other one, knocked him over, and so the guy that had been knocked over was on the floor.
yeah,
The other guy was very apologetic. He was apologizing. It looked to me like it was a complete accident. But the guy that had been knocked over was complaining to the officials, saying that the other guy should be disqualified.
yeah.
But then, ironically, the guy who was knocked over, he was disqualified because of time penalties because he was refusing to continue the match.
Oh
So
wow,
you'll have to watch it on YouTube, but it's quite interesting just to see what
yeah,
happened. I personally don't think it was unsportsmanlike behavior from the other guy. I don't think he meant to do it.
fair enough.
Um,
Yeah.
my question to you off the back of the story was: have you ever experienced any unsportsmanlike behavior when you've been playing sport or watching sport?
Um, I think one that stands out for me is related to tennis, actually, because we have an international tennis tournament in Eastbourne, but at that time, the Davis Cup was being played in Eastbourne. Andy Murray was playing, so I've actually watched Andy Murray play tennis.
Oh, cool.
I was working. I say working. I was definitely I was working. Yes. I was watching the tennis as well, and he was playing terrible tennis, really, really, really bad. And there was like a photographer pit in by the side of the court, and he went mental at the photographers because he kept losing the points, and he got he got beat in the end. Like the other guy won, and then he came out of the changing rooms with a neck brace on afterwards, as if to make an excuse for his terrible performance. So I think that that's a case of being sort of a bad loser, really. Like
Mm.
he couldn't handle somebody else beating him, so he was blaming basically anything possible. Like he was blaming the photographers. Then he decided that he was going to put a neck brace on to say that he was injured. So I think that kind of discredits the other person, the opponent,
Mm.
really. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I didn't really like that experience. I thought that was a little bit unsportsmanlike in a way. So yeah,
Yeah.
not a good look.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Indeed.
cool. Well,
Awesome.
I guess in terms of a role play then, we
Yes.
could we could go back to your story maybe.
Okay.
What do you think with someone, someone that is in danger of losing their job or someone that's going to lose their job? What do
Oh,
you
that's
think?
perfect. I like that. I think that's a great idea. Yes. So yeah, we can. So one person can be like the manager or the boss. The other one is the employee who is possibly going to be fired from their job.
Perfect. Well, can I choose? Because normally I ask you to choose your role. Can
Okay,
I choose this week? Is
go
that
ahead.
right?
Go ahead. Yes.
Can I be the manager?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
All right. So I'm the manager, let's say, of a big warehouse.
Okay.
It's a crisp warehouse. So it's where lots of crisps being stored, ready to go off to supermarkets. And Jordan, you can be the night watchman, the night
Nice.
security guard.
Absolutely. Just so you know, I love mini cheddars.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. I'll bear that in mind.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay. Yes. You wanted to see me about something. I got a notice asking me to come to your office.
Yeah, come in, Jordan. Take a seat.
Okay. Thank you.
Jordan, you've got some mini cheddar crumbs on your
Oh,
top there.
sorry.
I hope you haven't been eating the stock again.
No, 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 no. They were from home. Yes, I brought them from home.
Okay, well, good to hear that. Jordan, I'm thank you for your time coming to see me. Something quite serious has come to light
Okay.
over the past couple of days. We know that you were working on Wednesday in the warehouse
Yes.
as night watchman. Your shift was from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Can you confirm those were
Yeah.
your working hours?
Yes, that's correct. Nine p.m. to 9 a.m. That's right. Yes.
Okay, and you can confirm that all of the security screens and all of the cameras were all working and all operational during those hours?
From from my knowledge, yes. I believe I did raise it with the daytime security staff that one of the cameras was flickering a little bit, and they said that they were going to sort it out. That was the only issue that that I had recently with the security system.
Okay, well, I mean, as you know, there was a break in during that shift. I'm sure
Right.
you're aware, and
Yes.
obviously we only have one warehouse, don't we? One main area that you have to watch over, and clearly that during the break in there were four very large vans that entered the warehouse. There were over
Yes.
30 thieves that got out of the vans, and we lost over £20,000 in salt and vinegar crisps
Yeah.
that night. I mean, how can you explain that, Jordan? How did you not see that happening?
I don't know. I don't really know why it happened at that time. But I presume they must have known that I've gone to the toilet. And as you know, we've installed the new Japanese toilet seat, so I was I was enjoying them. Unfortunately, a little bit too long. So I think that might have been the reason why I didn't see and didn't notice them. I know it's not an excuse or anything. I don't want to blame anyone else, but yeah, I must admit those Japanese toilet seats are very comfortable, especially in the winter months.
I mean, first and foremost, the Japanese toilet seat, that's reserved for me and me only. That's the manager's toilet. I'm not sure quite what you were doing in my private toilet. It's not really
Yeah.
funny, Jordan. I did notice quite a strange smell coming from there actually the other day.
I see.
Secondly, the thieves were in the warehouse for a good 4 hours, so
Oh wow.
I'm pretty surprised that you were in my toilet for 4 hours. And the
Yes.
other astonishing thing is apparently when you handed over to Paul in the morning, you made no mention of there being any kind of break in or any theft
Yeah.
whatsoever. In
Yeah.
fact, Paul said you walked across the warehouse
Mm,
through all of the salt and vinegar crisps that had been left on the floor,
mm.
crunched your way across the warehouse, got into your car, and drove off without saying anything.
Yeah. I thought there had been just a massive crisp accident, and I didn't think anything of it. I know that they were moving around the boxes, and uh, there were forklift trucks going here, there, and everywhere. I just thought that a pallet had fallen, and they just made a mess. So it's not my job to report sort of any mess that the warehouse makes. But I do hold my hands up and say, yeah, I was a little bit ignorant in that respect, and I should have mentioned it. So yeah, I do apologize for not mentioning it sooner.
Well, I put it to you, Jordan, that you were asleep during your shift, and that's why you hadn't realised that yeah all of those salt and vinegar crisps were stolen. So I'm afraid, Jordan, I regrettably I'm going to have to let you go.
Okay.
And you're going to have to put back all of the mini cheddars as well that I can see in your bag as well.
Right. Okay. No problem. Um, so is that from today that uh, you know I'm no longer working here, or is it at the end of the week?
No, I'm afraid it's with immediate effect. And
Okay.
could
Right.
you make sure you leave via that door as well because my Japanese toilet is that
Yes.
way, and I can see that you keep looking at it. So
Right. No problem.
make sure you leave that way, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for your employment, and I just wanted to say that your toilet was phenomenal. So yes, thank you very much indeed.
That's brilliant. I kind of broke character there a couple of times because I found the whole thing so funny and ridiculous. Yeah,
It's just so absurd, isn't it?
yeah,
That
yeah.
anything like that would happen.
But it was cool. I think it's something about our British sense of humor as well that
Yes,
like them we find, don't we, sort of ridiculous, quite
yes,
slapstick situations. I do anyway. I find them funny. So
absolutely. Yeah,
um,
I think also as well, especially when you're doing something a little bit in a sense serious, but you want to make it a little bit funny as well at the same time. I think there's that
yeah,
little, you know, that comedic value in sort of trying to make it a little bit more funnier than it what it really is, of course. Like, I mean, not, theft and things like that isn't funny, really, is it? But
no,
we're trying to make it quite entertaining in that regard. So,
yeah,
um,
exactly,
yes,
exactly. Cool. All right.
awesome,
Should we go into the English to take away?
absolutely, yes,
Hmm,
yes, yes, yes. If you want
perfect.
to kick things off, then please go ahead.
Yeah, the first one, you'll lose your marbles. Great expression that you used when you were talking about the different flavored popcorn in the Philippines. So your marbles means your mind, doesn't it? Your brain,
Yeah,
basically. So you'll lose your marbles, you'll lose your mind. You won't believe
yeah,
what I'm going to say. So nice
absolutely.
expression. You'll lose your marbles.
Yeah,
Liked it.
that's a cool. And uh, we can also use it as a little bit of a derogatory term, negative, like he's lost his marbles, meaning
Hmm.
that he's a little bit crazy as well. Like we can use it in that regard too. But yeah, that's a fun one to use indeed. Cool. The
Great.
first one that I've got from yourself is bucket list. And this is a list of things that you want to do before you die, basically, or you get too old to do them. Um, but yeah, bucket list is all of the activities, the things, the places you want to go, the things that you want to do, uh, that you are going to try and do them before you, of course, get too old or you die as well. So yeah, bucket list is a nice one to use, indeed.
Before you kick the bucket.
Before you kick the bucket, yeah, the idiom to die. Yes,
Excellent. All
indeed.
right. Maybe that's quite a nice topic of conversation as well for a future episode. Maybe we could go through our bucket list of places we'd like to visit. I'm sure that would be
Yeah.
interesting to find out.
Well, we spoke about this before about kind of like a bucket list thing for us to do was like a live episode of the podcast, right? So
Yes.
we're going to hopefully do that in the next few months, probably in May or June time. We're going to actually do a live episode of the podcast with people coming in to join in and take part in the podcast as well. I think
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting, and yeah, more information to follow. I think on that, but it's going to be really
absolutely,
cool, isn't it?
yeah. But that was a good addition to the bucket list that we added. Yes,
Absolutely. And then the next level, I'll fly out to the Philippines, or we'll both fly somewhere in the middle, and then we'll do a live in person
yeah.
episode as well. That would be
The
awesome, wouldn't it?
the middle point. I found the middle point already. It's Dubai.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Okay. Oh, that
Dubai is the
cool.
middle point. I was talking about it with my dad. So yeah, Dubai is actually, I think, from here it's like 8 hours, 9 hours. I think from the UK it's probably 8 hours. I think something like that. 7 hours, eight
Yeah.
hours. So yeah, I think it's most likely Dubai area is the middle point indeed.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Watch this space.
There we go. Yes.
Okay, the next one I had was another really lovely expression. Um, the meaning is if you forget
Mm.
something or forget to do something, it escaped my mind.
Ah, yes. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
very, very, very easy to sort of visualize that one, isn't it? But yeah, you
Absolutely.
said, oh yeah, it escaped my mind, so I forgot about it.
Yes.
Nice expression, Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another good one to just build on the word or the phrase I forgot or I forget. Yeah.
yeah.
Just another expression to use. Cool. Um, Again, another expression that you used was stepped up their game. This means to improve what they were already doing. So if you step up your game, you're moving yourself to the next level, um, leveling up per se. So, yeah, when you say a company has stepped up their game, it means that they are now better than what they were before. Better design, better quality, better technology, maybe. Yeah, so that was a great phrase to use.
Nice, excellent. Okay, the next one I've got is an adjective. The meaning
Mm,
of the adjective is relaxed or relaxing, and you used it to talk about your week. And you said, I've had a mellow week.
yes.
So, mellow is a lovely word, just means relaxed, calm, gentle.
Yes.
Everything's been like this.
Yeah.
Mellow. Nice.
Cool. Um, had to put a phrasal verb in here because
Of course.
you you uh, you used it to describe Mika. She clamped on. Uh, so so this is quite a unique situation of using this phrasal verb, I think, because you wouldn't really use it in many other situations apart from talking about animals, especially those that bite. And clamped on means that the animal bit someone or something and wouldn't let go, no matter what you're, whether you're shaking your arm, like the dog, the cat, whatever, is still on your arm. You can't get it off. So yeah, clamped on was a good one to use in this regards, actually.
Nice, excellent. Okay, the next one I've got, you used in the role play to
Mm.
apologize and to admit that you'd done something wrong. You said, I hold my hands up. So if we say, I hold my hands up, which is, I'm actually releasing a video today with that expression in it, funny
Oh, right,
enough.
cool.
Yeah, so I hold my hands up. It's a way to apologize and,
Yes,
isn't it,
yeah,
admit that you're in the wrong, that you've done something
absolutely.
wrong.
Nice. The next one that you had was quite specific to this particular animal, and it's hutch. Most people would say cage for animals, but particularly for rabbits and maybe guinea pigs, we use the term hutch for where they live. So I thought that was an interesting difference to what someone might usually use to describe where a rabbit might live.
Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, good. All right. Um, the next one I've got, something that you said, which is a lovely fixed expression. Um, I said, "How was your week?" And I guess what you wanted to say was that I didn't really do anything this week. There's nothing exciting happened, and you said, nothing to write home about.
Yeah,
So it's a nice fixed expression. If someone has never heard that before, they might think, "Why are you writing
yeah, writing
home?
home.
What a letter? What an email?" But it's a lovely fixed expression, isn't it? Nothing to write home about just means I didn't really do anything.
Yes, yeah, uneventful. Yes,
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
uneventful.
perfect.
Indeed. Cool. And the last one from me is a nice expression that you used when you were firing me. Um, is come to light,
Mm.
which is a great expression to use in the sense that something has been revealed. Maybe that's through investigation, maybe that's through interviewing people and getting people's opinions and facts, of course. But yeah, when we say something has come to light, it means that I've been given knowledge about that particular thing. So yeah, I like that phrase. I thought it was a good one to use in that situation. Yeah, it was a nice one to use, of course.
Cool. Let me recap then. So we had you'll lose your marbles.
Hmm.
We had a bucket list. It escaped my mind. They've stepped up their game.
Hmm.
a mellow day or a mellow week, to clamp on, remember my puppy, I hold my hands up, a hutch, nothing to write home about, talking about an uneventful time,
Yep.
and come to light, to
Yes.
be revealed.
Nice.
Amazing. Some lovely expressions there this week, aren't there?
What an array of different vocabulary and expressions that we have there.
Yeah, an eclectic mix. And I'm sure out of those expressions, there'll be one or two that really resonate with people that they really like. And,
Yes. Yeah,
I'd
absolutely.
advise them to, write a couple of example sentences
Mm,
using them, make sure that they're memorable examples, and then try to use some of the expressions when you're speaking or writing, when you're practicing English.
absolutely. I agree. I think yeah, they're really good for using in some of them specific situations, but others in general situations as well. So you can
Mm.
try and use a couple of specific situational sentences, examples, but you can also use some of these in general terms as well for many different scenarios. So yeah, a good balance there, I think, as well. Indeed.
Absolutely. So
Awesome.
yeah, so let's remind everyone, shall we, of the email address,
Please.
English to takeaway pod@gmail.com.
Yes.
Write in with your news stories if you found a news story that you'd like us to discuss. Write in with your English language grammar questions. Anything else that people can write in about, Jordan? Anything
Uh,
really?
to give us maybe their role play ideas, and basically anything that they want to discuss. Really, we can try and fit it in and yeah, take it on board and discuss something that interests them.
Great. All right.
Awesome.
Well, this hour has flown by.
It
Thanks,
certainly
Jordan. Have a
has.
have a great rest of the weekend, and see you again next week.
Awesome. Take care, Richard. See you soon.